Hey, what's up everybody? This is Steven with another Pixel for Life video tutorial. So if you can tell by this title, we are going to be creating drop-down menus. Now there's a lot of different ways to create a drop-down. You can use jQuery or JavaScript, but we're going to keep it very basic and just use CSS. Now I'm not going to style it and make it all fancy looking because I just want to give you the bare bones just so you can launch right in and start using this on your own website. So it's going to look somewhat ugly, but that's alright. Let's just get started. So with all navigations, well, let me just show you what I have down here already. Just a basic page structure with my style sheet getting linked. And this is my style sheet, nothing in it. And yeah, that's about it. So over here, I'm going to create a new list item, so UL, and we're going to give it the ID of nav, which is short for navigation. And then within your unordered list, we're going to create list items. So we start off with li, and then we're going to give this one, because this is the first one, we're going to give it a class of current. And this is so we can stylize the current link a little bit differently than the other ones. And then we're going to do anchor link, so a href equals, and maybe we'll do http://www.pixelforlife.com. Just a little bit of self-promotion, and then let me close that off, and we'll name this home. Alright, so let's create another list item, and we'll go li and not have a class, and then we'll do a href equals, and let's do, you don't have to put any links here. I just want to promote myself because that's how I am. youtube.com/pfltuts. And then we'll close that off. And we'll close that off, and we'll name this tutorials. Alright, so let's create a couple more list items. I'm going to make these down a little bit further, a little space here, and you'll see why. So we'll do li, and then a href, and let's just put it for nothing, and we'll do about us, and then li href, and then we'll just name this one like contact us. Alright, so these are not going to have any drop downs onto it. We're just going to we'll have two drop downs. Let me copy this one, paste it here, and we'll call this one super nested. So you'll see what that means later on. Let's give that a little bit of space, and let's go to this right here, to the li. So then we are within this tutorials list item. So inside of here, we are going to have to create another unordered list. So do ul, and then close that off. And then within this, we're going to do a list item, so li, and then another a href equals nothing, and then we'll call this a submenu. Alright, so let's give these, let's put a couple items inside of here. So let's just do another menu, and then we'll just copy this whole thing, and we'll paste it a couple times. Alright, so now let's save this, and I'll refresh this page so you can see what it looks like. So now the ones with the normal bullet points will be our navigation links, and then when you hover over it, it'll show the sub menu. So if you want to just leave it at one drop down, that's fine, but we're going to be super cool, and we're going to have it so you can hover over this sub menu and it'll show another sub menu. So I'm just taking it all out so you can customize this just the way that you need it. So let's do a unordered list inside of here, so ul. So we're going to do just pretty much the exact same thing that we just did. So inside of here is just going to be li, and then a href equals sub, oops, and then the name is going to be sub menu. Save that. Let's copy this and paste it a couple times. Save it and let's refresh. Okay, so you can see that this is a submenu of this, and this is a super submenu. See where it's going? It's starting to look good. Alright, so maybe before you get any more confused, we should start doing the styling so you get an idea of what we're doing. So let's just start off with a simple body tag, and in here we'll specify the font. So we'll do font 14 pixels, and then Arial, Helvetica, and sans serif, just so it has some fallback color or fonts. And then let's make this a little bit neater. Sorry, OCD is getting the best of me. Alright, so we're going to give it a quick background color so the white doesn't burn your eyes, and we'll just do EEE, which is a light gray, and then we'll do a width of like 900 pixels, and then margin 100 pixels and auto. And then let's just do a font color of, and we'll just do 666. Nice devil colors, I guess. So if I do a quick refresh here, you can see what we did so far. It's looking a bit nicer. Not really. Alright, so now let's stylize the anchor tags. So we're going to do that by just doing a global A and then color of 333. And now we need to stylize the navigation bar. So I'm going to do the pound sign, so with the ID of nav, and that is this right here, just the whole wrapper. So an ID of nav, and we're going to do margin. We're going to get rid of all the margins. Then we'll do padding, and we'll give it 7 pixels, 6 pixels, and 0. And then we'll give this one a background color so you can distinguish it better. And we'll give it like a dark gray color. So I'm going to do 2B, 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 2B. Alright. And then we'll change the line height so everything's centered. And we'll change that to 100%. And then display inline block. Alright, let's see what that did. Let's refresh this, and maybe I gotta save it. That helps. Refresh it, and wow, that's gorgeous. Alright, so let's keep on working. Let's stylize the list items. So we go nav li, and then inside of here we will do margin 0 and 5 pixels, and then we'll do padding of 0, 0, and 8 pixels. And then we're going to tell it to float to the left, so they're all nice and lined up. And then we're going to do position relative. And this is going to help us with lining up our drop-down menus, because the drop-downs are going to be position absolute. So let's get rid of some bullet points. So list style none. Okay, and now we can do we can stylize the anchors inside of the navigation. So I'm going to go nav A, and we're going to change the font weight to bold, and then we're going to change the color to some fancy color like E7, E5, E5. And now we can remove the underlines by going text decoration and changing that to none, and display block. I know how boring it is to watch someone type out code, and I apologize for that, but I figure maybe it's a little bit more interesting than just copying and pasting it into your own work. So if you don't like it, you can just fast forward, and I won't have my feelings hurt. We're going to give it some padding of 8 pixels and 20 pixels, and the margin, we're going to remove that. So let's see if this did anything yet. Refresh, and you can see I have no words. Let's keep on going. We're going to change the nav A hover, and for this we're going to give it a background of 3 zeros, and then we're going to give it a color of 3 Fs. And let's make some space here so you're not staring at the bottom of your screen. And then I'm going to go to, oops, forgot the pound sign. We're going to do pound nav dot current, so the current item of the navigation, A, and then we will do pound nav li hover, and then the children of A. Alright, so now for this we're going to do a background of 3Ds, and then a color of the devil color 666, and then we are going to give it a border, and this is stylizing the current navigation. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to do border top, and it's going to be 2 pixels solid and then an orange color. So DF631F. Alright, so I don't know if it's going to show up too well, but here we go. This is what we just made. This thing right here. So it's a nice gray background with orange on the top. Nothing too fancy, just to show you what can be done. So let's just keep on going. We are going to do sort of the same thing, but we're going to do pound nav ULLI hover A, and then comma nav LI hover LIA, and we're going to get rid of the background, so background none, and then we're going to remove the border, so border none, just simple stuff, and then change the color to 666. Alright, almost done, almost done. Hopefully it all works so we don't have to come back and figure out what we did wrong. So we're going to do nav, and then we're going to go ULA hover. Alright, so now we need to stylize the color of the font when you hover over it. You know, just little fancy things. This is very important. So we got the ULA hover, and then we're going to change the color to black, and we're going to say this is very important. And then now we want to have it so the drop-down menu isn't hidden. Well, right now this is gonna tell it to appear when you roll over it, and then after this we're gonna tell it to hide it normally, and you'll see what I mean. So nav, you want to do pound nav li hover, and then the child ul, and we're going to tell it to display block. So this is going to unhide it, change the display status to block rather than hidden or none. So we're going to do pound nav ul, and then we're going to say display none, so that makes it disappear. So if I save this real quick and refresh, you'll see that they're gone. Now our navigation bar is a bit messed up, but we'll worry about that later. So alright, so now let's work on that a little bit better. We're going to do margin, and we're going to say 0, and then we're going to do padding of 0, and then we're going to change the width to 185 pixels, and we want to say position absolute, so we can tell it where we want the drop down menu to sit. And up here, if you remember, I don't know where at, but we told it that the position was relative. Alright, so we got position absolute, and then we're going to tell it that we want it 35 pixels from the top, and from the left we want it 0 pixels, and then we're going to give it a background color of 3Ds, and then we're going to give it a border of 1 pixel solid, and we'll make it B4. Okay, so save, and let's see if this looks nice yet. Refresh, and there you go. You can see how it's looking so far. We got a little bit of a problem, but we'll worry about that later. So now let's do a couple more. We're going to do nav ULLI, and we're going to say that float none, and then margin 0 pixels, padding 0 pixels, and then we want to stylize pound nav ULA, and we're going to say font weight normal, and then finally pound nav UL, and we're going to say left 185 pixels, and then this is the drop down menu within a drop down menu. So this is a super nested. So right now if we hover over this, we go to sub menu, you can see this menu is above everything, and what we want to do is float it to the right and make sure that it's even with the top. So to do that, we're going to say float it 185 pixels from the left, and we got that number from our nav UL, which is 185 pixels wide. So and then we got to say top, we're going to do -1 pixel. Save that, refresh this, and you can see that now our sub menu gets pushed over. And now our stylizing is a little bit off, but that's okay, we'll fix that. Alright, now that the bulk of the styling is done, we can finally do some modifications and fixing this, because we got a little bit of an issue going on. And I figured out why this is wrong. I had to pause it, I'll admit to that. And as you can see, when you go up here, and I go to inspect element, and I can click on this, we got a little problem going on right here. And what it is that I am dumb, and you probably noticed this, but I forgot to close off the anchor tag. So I just do /A right there. Simple as that. I refresh this and it's fixed. So now one last thing I want to do is we got a bit of a gap going on between the two sub menus. So when you go to to hover over it, or to roll over to the next sub menu, it closes. And that's pretty simple. So let's go over to styles, and I believe it's is located right at the bottom here. This nav UL. We change the left to like 180, save it, and refresh, and then we can come over to the sub pages, and there you go. So now that you kind of got an idea of what we were doing, let's make a super nested one, which is a lot of sub menus. So over here in super nested, let's just start over so you can understand it. Within the LI, we are going to create a unordered list UL with no class or anything. Well, you can put a class, but I'm not. And then we're going to do LI, and then A, href equals nothing. Make sure you close that off. And we'll do sub menu 1. Alright. And let's just copy this a couple of times so we can have some items inside of that drop down menu. So we're just going to copy that. Alright, so now inside of this one, we're going to do the exact same thing. So inside of the top one, or whatever one you want, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do a UL, and then inside of here, we're going to do LI, a href equals nothing, and then close that off, and we're going to do sub menu 2. And let's copy this a couple of times so we can see what's going on. And let's refresh this so you can see it. So we got a super nested, and if we hover over this one, you can see sub menu comes up, okay? So now let's do it one more time so we have a third menu. So we'll do it on the center one. So this one right here, we're going to double click and just make some room for us. And we'll do UL, exact same thing. So LI, oops, yeah, UL, LI, a href equals nothing, and then we'll do sub menu 3, and that's closed off. So let's copy this. Oops, paste a couple times, and we'll just rename to yay hidden. Save that, and let's refresh. So go to super nested, sub menu this one, and there you go. So that's really nested. So if you have that many items on your website, you know the option works for you. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. I'm sorry I might have bored you a little bit with writing the styles, but you know, it's part of programming. You need to get that done. So thank you for watching, and be sure to check out our website, and I'll have these files uploaded there so you can download them. And I misspelled serif. And also have the text written out so you can just copy and paste it and do whatever you want with it. This is This is all yours. You can take it and run with it, and if you want, post it in a comment what you make with it so I can see how you used it. That'd be kind of nice. So if you have any questions or requests for tutorials, please let me know. Drop it in a comment or send me a PM. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.